for all the days I spent high and low, and all my time it ran, it had to go and go.
Watch some criminal appeals court cases. We've got some aggravated robbery, we've got some rape cases, we've got some murder cases. It's going to be pretty awesome just to watch. I'm planning on going into law myself, so being able to see all this, firsthand, I'm not going to lie, I'm really geeking out. I'm really excited just to watch and see how the lawyers themselves present themselves. That's just right down my alley, and I'm really excited for it.
Just looking forward to the rhetoric and the speech that goes on between attorneys, and seeing how that's going to work out and see how the judges are going to sway.
I'm most excited for the DNA case just because it happened in the early 90s, and now he's on death row and he's still trying to fight it.
So we decided to come to Austin with our Argumentation and Debate class, and we are here in front of the Texas State Capitol, and over to our left is actually the Texas Supreme Court. And my students this semester are studying legal rhetoric, and so they're looking at how story making and ethical decisions play out through persuasive tactics when people are arguing before either juries or judges. So we have this cool opportunity to come and listen to oral argument at the highest court level in the state of Texas. This exercise and this opportunity is going to help them be able to understand a little bit more about the role of communication and the role of narrative in shaping how we understand truth, and how we determine what constitutes a fact and what constitutes objectivity.
What I learned that when you're in front of the judges, you have to come with facts only. Don't try to bend the truth, because they will not hesitate to lash at you. I've seen attorneys using a lot of persuasive tactics to get the judge to, be more on their side, so they can obviously, win the case. Overall, though, I enjoyed the experience and I learned a lot.
I was really surprised at how some of the different attorneys argued. Some were very frank, very forward. Some were very general, very broad. But all of them really knew what they were doing, and it was so amazing to see everything that goes into these cases, all the research that was done, and just the overall respect that everyone has in the courtroom was amazing.
I was surprised that the cases were as long as they were, I guess, and it did teach me some things about how not to approach judges or approach somebody in an argument, to have more solid facts before I make my case, I guess.
The observation of everything that was going on, the great experience was awesome. My favorite case was the murder one. They were talking about not enough evidence, but yet people were still finding ways to convict this man. And so, just the awesome court case that was set in front of us to set a precedent for later. It's awesome to hear that we could be part of that and listen to it.
Today, one of the key things I got out of watching the Supreme Court hearing is just being able to frame your arguments, and the language you use is really effective, and which way you decide to argue something. Using a different type of approach can be the make or break point of winning your argument or what you're debating over. My favorite case today, I would have to be the one about the murder case, to be the first case we watched. I like that one a lot just because of the different ways. There were so many ways you can argue the same argument, and so many different cases you could bring up before and after, or particular arguments had better grounds to stand upon than other ones did. It made it really interesting. It was a great thing to watch. The trip definitely met my expectations, a lot better than I expected, a lot more interesting than I expected as well, and I really enjoyed the experience.
What I took out of this experience, which was unique to ASU, this is my first time that I've ever done something like this, that was school related. I was really able to be interactive with them. I didn't talk much. You can't talk in that situation, but just to be engaged and listening to what they're saying, I thought that was really cool. On the last case that we heard, it was a murder trial from 1992, and they're trying to bring up DNA again. And just that they do that they can go back from the past and bring that back is something I thought they didn't really do that often. And so to see it and hear it was a pretty cool experience, just because I'm not used to that.
The experience here was really awesome, honestly. We got to really learn more about the nature of argument and debate and how it's used in today's political world. And it's actually really interesting how the art of rhetoric and how communication skills are used so diligently, almost as though you can't win an argument if you don't have those skills, and you can't make your point if you don't have those skills. And sometimes it's a matter of life or death. Sometimes the case at hand is a death penalty, and if you don't make the case, someone could die. So that really goes to show you how important communication, rhetoric, and the art of language is.
I think it was really great for us to come here just to see another realm and just see arguments and facts, played out in real life. And I definitely have a better sense of what goes on and just civic responsibility.
It was a really good experience. It's really good to help us learn and see exactly what we are learning in class, being used by professionals who do it every single day. So it's a really good experience to get to know, see what we're using in real life. And it's going to help us a lot with our projects and understanding things better, and answers a lot of questions for us.
I had a lot of fun on the trip. We learned a lot, and we got to sit in and hear a lot of the debates. For somebody who wants to be an attorney, it was really cool getting to see how they actually went about their business and how they prepared and who did better than who. But I would definitely recommend the trip to other people, because it was definitely something that I wouldn't have done had I not come with the school.
I was expecting just one judge, but to see all 9 judges was really awesome. And to see how the attorneys interacted with the judges was really awesome as well. I kind of just thought the attorneys would give their side and the other one would go, and then that would be it. But I liked how the judges interacted with the attorneys and helped them out if they kind of stumbled across something. And I just liked how it flowed, and it was really comfortable, and overall great experience.
All right, well, I had a really great time in court today, just watching everything play out. I loved watching the attorneys, like I said earlier. Just watching their nonverbal cues was really key. One attorney seemed really nervous. She was standing with her arm behind her back like this, and just just listening to how they presented their cases to the judges was really fascinating to watch. I liked in a couple of the cases, 3 of the 4 cases today, it seemed that the point was mute, that there really was no point in us even being there and the case even being there, but then always the defense would get up and bring a different twist to it and be like, oh, okay, I get it now. And it was great to watch.
It is really impressive for me to experience a court firsthand, and not only theory but experience is really helpful for me to memorize the things we learn in the class. So it is very nice field trip for me. Thank you.
One was on the guy who attempted suicide during the middle of the trial.
Yeah, and then they did the court costs.
And they were trying to claim he was basically nuts, therefore they should let him go.
judges have the argument they want to hear. So you have to have all your bases covered and know everything that's going on.
The judges have read, studied, they know their stuff, and they're going to put the attorneys where the state and the appellant. You're right. Okay. To the test, and that's the way it's supposed to be in this country.
It was interesting though that they were like proposed solutions to the lawyers. They would be like, so we ruled this way, would that satisfy you? Why or why not?
Well, I sided with the state saying that to me it didn't matter that the DNA came back inconclusive because they had other facts and hard evidence of what actually happened that night, so they could have just gone with that.
Strong enough case.
Yes, without using the DNA.
The pistol that they found the morning that I guess his attempted suicide took place, the officer that found him, he didn't even see the body. The only person that saw the body was the doctor at the hospital, and even he stated that he couldn't conclude that it was self-inflicted. And the gun that they found, they didn't even swipe for fingerprints on the gun either, so basically they are ruling it an attempted suicide based on the opinions of the people. So, I mean, of course, it looks like attempted suicide, but in legal terms, can you conclude it's attempted suicide?
I mean, before even looking at the DNA, he was obviously just guilty. It was so much evidence against him. Like, he had too many witnesses against him, and he was guilty.
And he even confessed.
Yeah, he confessed. And then, I mean, I know I was supposed to do this, but I was so into the case, I YouTubed it, and I was like, I have to just know more. And then they were saying that he thought he did those things because he blacked out when he was drunk.
Yeah.
And the police made him think he had done it. And I was like, well, that's terrible. That's something different. And then I was going to change my opinion, but I was like, well, I'm just going to do
You started making arguments that were being made at the highest court in Texas.
Oh.
High five. If you have to know what's your theory, which facts are you going to try to emphasize and talk about, and finally be prepared about where your case might be weak because you know they're going to jump on it.
Well, we made it back from Austin, and it was, I think, overall a really successful trip. I'm hoping that we will see some of the fruits of our labors as the semester continues. So my students right now are working on their final project for the semester, but they're doing a little bit at a time, and they're working on their oral appellate arguments on Supreme Court cases. So our trip to the highest court in the state of Texas was beneficial to them because it allowed them to see how the legal system works, to understand how argumentation theory plays out in the practical real-world experience of the legal system, and also how communication and storytelling and persuasive strategies all work together to really determine what constitutes justice. So listening to them talk a little bit about their experiences gives me a lot of hope and a lot of excitement about what they're taking away from this experience, which I think is going to help them not just in this class but also outside of the classroom in terms of understanding when they're talking about civic engagement and civic responsibility and civic knowledge, what is the role of communication and why do we study these things? How do they apply out there? So even when the students go and are called for jury duty, say, I think they're going to be able to take some of their experiences and the knowledge that they're getting from the Connect grant and be able to apply it when they're a juror, or hopefully they're always a juror and not on the other side of the legal system. But so now they are giving their experiences and sharing their experiences with their colleagues who were not able to attend the trip, which is also really cool because it kind of changes the way we look at education a little bit. They're the ones now with a set of knowledge, not just me, and so they're taking it and they're teaching their colleagues, and that is really exciting to see as well. It's empowering for the students. It lets them see that they can understand their experiences in a way that allows them to become teachers and educators themselves, and I think that's really cool. So as we finish off this semester and as we keep plowing ahead, we're going to have guest judges come in, and the guest judges are going to teach the student. They're going to treat the students just as the attorneys were treated before the Texas Supreme Court. So the students are going to have to compose stories and arguments about what they think constitutes justice in their particular cases, and the judges will interrupt them, test their argumentation thinking, test their persuasive strategies, and really get them to think on their feet. And again, that's another lesson that I think is just invaluable for anybody and everybody, is being able to have that confidence and speak about what you think is true and just, and be ready to defend your position. And seeing the attorneys do that in court, they saw some attorneys who were very successful, and they saw some attorneys who were novice perhaps and struggled a little bit. And that experience is just invaluable for them. It lets them see real-world professionals making mistakes and working through those mistakes, and now the students have an opportunity to do it themselves. And I'm hoping that next year we'll be able to continue and do this trip again with argumentation and debate when it's offered again, and go check out maybe how jury selection happens. We could do that here in town, or we could go again to the Texas Supreme Court. The opportunities are limitless as long as the students keep enjoying their experiences and telling us that this is working for them and that they're getting something out of it. Then the sky's the limit. We're really excited about what the rest of the semester brings, and we're very thankful for the Connect program to allow our students to get this kind of opportunity.